It is February 18th, 2024, and I want to talk really quickly about a scam story that I just read online. It's very sad. And, there's no sign here that someone had made it up. It appears to be legitimate to me that this did happen because this sort of a thing likely does happen every now and then. And it's really, really unfortunate. It's about romance scams, the kind of scam where someone, maybe usually an elderly person, will start chatting with someone online. And maybe if it's a woman, she sees a guy in the photos being sent to her by the person who she does not yet know is a scammer. And that scammer is stringing her along for a number of weeks, months, whatever it may be, all for the goal of one day trying to extract money out of her after getting her all wrapped up in the emotions of thinking that she knows this person, thinking that she is in love with this person, when in reality, the harsh truth is that she's speaking to someone online who is not who they say they are, who is out to scam them, and who does not care about her at all. And I just read this story. It's on Reddit. It's on the scams subreddit. And this video I'm making serves to warn people out there that there are scammers that go after people who are elderly or up there in age, whatever you consider elderly. And they try to get them to believe that they are someone who is exciting, someone who might have a romantic interest in your grandmother, your grandfather, or whoever it is that you know who might be elderly. And they try to scam them out of their life savings or whatever it may be. And it's really terrible. This Reddit post is called "My Grandma Killed Herself After Being Scammed Out of Her Life Savings." And it's, like I said, this is very sad. And if you're someone out there who is talking to someone right now online and has been talking to them for a while, and you've never actually seen them in a live video or in person, and they always seem to have some sort of excuse for why they can't maybe show themselves to you on a live video, and something seems off about all of it, then you might be being strung along in a romance scam. So I'm going to read this story right now. And I hope that this ends up helping some people, because the person who posted it said that they really hope that telling this story, posting this, is that, one person reads it and it helps just one person's family. That's sometimes the thing that I say when I make a video about scams. Just the most general, like website scams where the people try to get your credit card information or whatever. I try to tell people that, if I can just save one person from being scammed, then me sitting here under the lights and the camera and the microphone when I could be doing something else will be all worth it. So here's the story. I'm not sure who this post will help, but I can't not talk about it. I know most people on here very easily can tell if something is a scam. Older people can't. She fell for a romance scam. Talking about his grandmother, or her grandmother, sorry. My family was unaware until recently. I'm the youngest granddaughter. She had showed me a picture of a good-looking old man on a boat last week that she had been messaging. I knew instantly she wasn't talking to a real person. I told her to never send that MF money, no matter what he says or how much you believe it. A couple of days later, I find out on Valentine's Day, 2024, she shot herself. My poor grandma. We kept thinking about how happy she was. There were no signs of anything going on. In the back of my mind, I knew about a possible scam she was in. I decided not to say anything on that first day that we found out. It was too emotional of a day. The next day, when I arrived back at her house, my oldest sister and father ran out to tell me that she had $70 left to her name, that they found a bunch of gift cards for $500, a home equity loan for $30,000 she took out because she could no longer pay her bills, and a letter saying next month that her electricity would be shut off. The police still have her phone, but I took it upon myself to go through her emails on her laptop, found a bunch of emails from a Barry Lewis, Berry, LEWIS that she was messaging. In one email, she's freaking out and said something like, I have been scammed out of $44,000 before, and I am not letting it happen again. If you need $1,000 to transfer it, get it from somewhere else. Something like that is what she said. But there was a lot of evidence just in her emails. The main detective is giving the case to the FBI. Sometime this week, they are going to be taking her laptop. I know there is nothing anyone can say to me to help. My grandma is dead. The money is gone, and I'm sure the FBI won't do SHIT. So I'm posting on here on the chance that one person reads it and it helps just one person's family. Please keep an eye on your grandparents. These scams are getting absolutely horrendous. My grandma wasn't stupid. We have never thought this would have happened. She was very loved, and she could have told us what was going on, but she was embarrassed. And please ask your grandparents who they have been talking to, and please inform them of the very dangerous and manipulative scams that are going on today. And again, this is posted on the scams subreddit, r/scams on Reddit. And the title is My GMA Killed Herself After Being Scammed Out of Life Savings. And so, like I said, this is incredibly sad because you hear about people being scammed like this, and it's sad enough when they lose the money, but when something like this happens and they take it's just, these sorts of, I have someone in my family, extended family, who was once involved in one of those sorts of scams where the scammers call you and they sound like a family member and they say, we've taken this family member hostage. We need you to go to the bank and transfer this much money to an account. And, it almost happened, but thankfully the bank helped that family member say, hey, this is a scam. They called the family member they thought was, being a hostage or whatever, and everything was okay. It was all fake. And so these scammers are ruthless. They are, as this person said, horrendous, I think is the word they used. Horrifying is another word. And so this video, I've never done a romance scam video, but I've done 1,000 other videos about other scams. These sorts of scams are absolutely terrifying because you go from one end of the spectrum of thinking that you maybe are in love with someone that you're meeting online, and then the other end, after it's all over, figuring out that they had strung you along, that everything was fake. Months maybe went by, maybe even more than a year, and they took your money. And now maybe you don't have almost anything left. And so romance scams are a big deal, and they are something that is happening over and over. I see them trend all the time when I search for scams in Google Trends, which means that people are searching for these, and if they're happening, and that the fact that scammers are still doing them shows that they are working. The scammers aren't moving on to a different kind of scam, because apparently this sort of a scam, a romance scam, is something that I guess works. And so if you ever get involved with someone online and you are chatting with them and weeks or months later, suddenly the topic of money starts coming up and they need money, that is likely going to be a scam. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and say it is a scam. Don't give someone money if you've never met them in person. And we need to help. I think this person said we need to help the elderly because these people, they did not grow up with computers. They did not have these in their house. They didn't have iPhones. They didn't have, some of them didn't have a TV. Elderly people need all the help that we can give them. And we as the younger generation can do so much to help. And so I'm making this video here. You can make a post about romance scams if you want to. You can share my video, do whatever you can. The best thing you could do is talk to your elderly family members and let them know, hey, sometimes people talk to elderly people online, try to string them along, whether it's a romance scam or any other kind of scam. And their goal weeks, months down the line is to somehow ask you for money or get money from you. Don't let that happen. Hold on to your money because scammers it's a long con oftentimes with these sorts of scammers. So I hope this video has been helpful, like this person said, to at least one person. I've heard of these romance scams before, but for it to end like this is really obviously tragic. It's even more than tragic, but hit the like button down below if you want to. Comment if you want to. If you want my video to rank highly in Google and YouTube search results so that more people see more information about romance scams, there's really a whole lot of good information already up there in the top of Google search results. I'm sure there's FTC links and, other governmental organizations who are trying to help people out with this sort of thing. And so I want to do whatever I can as well. Like button, comment down below, and I will include, more information for anyone else who needs it also in a pinned comment. Thank you so much for watching.